guys, so today I'm going to do a all drugstore makeup look, and this does include some of the holiday gift sets from the drugstore. Luckily they're all, from what I've seen, have been all under 20 so far, which I'm mainly using the Business Formula Essential Mini Kit, which has these cute little products. So I already have on the Business Formula Illuminating Primer, and because I have AC right now, I'm going, which is a cumulative scar tissue issue. I have the Derma E Scar Gel on top of that just because I'm trying to clear that up. Unfortunately, it's winter, it's fall, so it's super dry. In that corner, I also underneath that I have the Business Formula Rose All Day Serum on. For foundation, I'm going to be using the Joe Fresh it's just called a foundation stick, and porcelain. I'm just going to draw that on my face, which is, it does look super yellow, but it does blend in while I make it blend. Just because this is available, like it used to be available at Shoppers, but they got rid of it sadly, but it's a good alternative to foundation and concealer just because it can build up to that concealer level of coverage, so you can save on concealer that way. I'm just using a Shop Miss A blending sponge. This is the one that has a flat end, and that does eventually actually blend in a little bit better to my skin tone. This isn't a full coverage foundation, but it is heavy enough that it covers any redness and any discoloration. It isn't too bad on dry patches, and it's easy to get in Canada. I'm not sure about the United States, but there's plenty of stick foundations in the drugstore now. Not so many that are cruelty free, but there's good foundations in the drugstore that are cruelty free. Just blotting that, which check. I do have a little bit of still darkness underneath my eyes, but that will get covered in a second with the Wet n Wild contouring palette in caramel toffee. I don't want to know why I want to call it coffee. And I'm just going to use the yellow side and an e.l.f. Flawless concealer brush just to set underneath my eyes. Ooh, the doggy's out. My neighbor has a German Shepherd and he's just playing in the leaves. Oh, he's so cute. So cute. But I just use this underneath the eyes because I have glasses, so I have to basically cover up the fact that I have like really dark under eye circles naturally, and then have a shadow following there. You don't have that, you may not want to use yellow powder. This stuff is really powdery. I'm hitting major pan. Like, look at it. Look at it. But that's going away. Because I have dry skin, I'm actually going to be using the e.l.f. HD Shimmer, or Soft Luminous Powder. It's getting everywhere. This is why I don't like wearing black. And I'm going to be using the BH Studio Pro No. 4 brush, which is the flat top buffing brush, just to put that on and buff that in. This does contain glitter, which if you're taking a lot of photos, be cautious of, because this, especially with flash, also contains, I think it's talc. And it has mica in it, so this stuff does cause flashbacks. There's plenty, if you're worried about flashbacks, there's a whole bunch of HD powders, at least from NYX makes a whole bunch of them. I'm just like, why is there like 15 shades of like this? And none of them are actually skin toned. But I'm just gonna make sure that my chin's set. And if you're wondering why I don't go over that mark next to my lip, is because that thing is super dry, and unfortunately it's caused by, actually I have an overbite and an underbite, so it's caused by that, so I can't really do anything about it other than just keep putting scar cream on it, and you can kind of see where the flash is coming. For eyeshadow primer, I'm using the Wet n Wild Photo Focus eyeshadow primer. These came with both the trios and the 8 pans. They're just little tiny ones. These are 5, whereas 5 grams, whereas the full size is, full size is 10 milliliters and the small is 5 milliliters. So you're getting, like, if you bought 2 pellets, you have basically a full one. And this is my favorite primer, so it's also fairly affordable. I think it's like $5.99 normally at my location. So it's fairly affordable. But there's other ones on the market that are better if you have really dark lids. Or just don't have really oily lids like I do, because this can be a little bit much. A little bit. And I need to be able to, I can't find my brush. Where is it? No, where did you go? Which is the number 5 brush from the BH Studio Pro set. And we are going to be using Well's Rose in the Air. I can't open it. Which I'm going to be taking the Cool Transition, which is on the top, which is number 1. I'm just thinking that's number 1 on this brush. I'm just going to look down into my mirror and just draw my crease naturally, a little bit above where it would naturally fall, just because I have tiny little eye space on my actual lid. So when I relax my eyelid, it actually looks like the crease is slightly above where it is. I don't have a lot of lid space, so if you have bigger lids, you might just want to go draw this in your natural crease. I just go above. I more or less hit the orbital. Like, you feel the orbital bone, that's where I'm hitting, and that's where I want to hit, is the orbital bone. Because I want to make my hooded lids actually look like I have eyelid space, which I don't. But we can fake that look. Because we can. We have the technology. Which is not really all that much technology, it's just drawing slightly above. I'm not buffing that too much in, because I'm just... That's just to make it look like I have more lid space. We aren't really trying to define that crease right now, because that comes right after we... Actually, let's do that now. I'm going to take a slightly smaller one, which is the BH Signature number 9 brush, which is ever so slightly smaller, which... we put them next to each other, you can see it's a little lightly smaller, just a tiny touch. The other one you could use if you have, actually I think I might actually use this, is the number 8 brush, which is really smaller than that brush. So I'm actually going to use the number 8 brush, just because I'm going to try to stick to one set of brushes so you don't have to buy 2. And I'm actually going to be taking the dark brown. Down here it's matte, and when you're doing this, especially on hooded lids, you need to basically use a lot of matte. I think I have too much pigment on there. I'm just going to actually follow my natural crease line a little bit. Basically I'm just shoving that in the socket and just pushing that into that corner, the outer corner, and then just pulling it in, just because that defines that out just a tiny touch more, which is kind of important if you have hooded lids. If you don't, you can just do this first, which I'm, and of course I do that. And as always, left eye is a little bit harder because I have to tilt my head slightly differently, because neither of my lids are the same size. I'm just going to take the same number 5 brush and just go out over that, just diffuse that a little bit, just so it's not as harsh as the other one. Then we are going to take, if I can find it, why can I never find my brushes? Those two will do. Which I'm going to start out with the number, I think it's number 7, it's number 7, which is a flat top shader brush, and we're just going to take, actually, what am I doing? I'm doing this backwards. Number 9, which is the really small. It's actually a concealer brush, but as we all know, nobody actually uses brushes for what they're labeled for. I'm going to be taking the matte orange and just take that on that brush. which you can do this with any color. This is more or less a halo eye. I'm doing it with orange just because I really do like orange, even though it's a holiday. Oh my god. I'm one of those people that wears orange years round. Just because I'm taking that basically on the inner third and the outer third. Just stamping that into there. I also have green eyes, so it's kind of one of those things where I like wearing orange. You can do this with... I wouldn't recommend doing this with the berry shade just because it could make your eyes look a little bit red. But it's going to repeat on the other side, which you can kind of see that I am one of those people that constantly makes a mess of their left eye compared to their right one. I think it's just because I can't really see. So I have slightly better vision in my right eye, so I can, or in my left eye, which I'm just taking a little tiny concealer brush and just going in there and just flicking out that color. Just flick it. And with the number 7 brush, I'm actually going to take the Shimmery Champagne, which is number 3, I think. I don't know. My Wild did not help this. And if you don't have this palette, you can always use something similar. This is a dupe for the Moderate Residence palette if you have it. If not, just buy this one. Or use something similar, because Wet n Wild does do a whole bunch of palettes that have similar shades in them. You could probably just change up the look to match your color theming. I just like wearing oranges, especially with the lip color that I'm going to be putting on. It came with this kit. I'm just gonna, that shade has a lot of like kick up, so I just knock that off. And then I'm going to take, can I find it? Can I find it? There it is. The BH number 6 brush, which is a flat, fluffy brush. And I'm going to take the matte cream, which is right underneath the transition color, and that has a lot to pick. This has a lot of fallout too, but isn't too bad. I will get off that fallout in a second. Just give it a second, just because I know that I'm going to have more fallout, and that is both the orange and the shimmery shade, the shimmery cream. I'm just going to take the e.l.f. blending brush and just kick it off my face. The other one that you can use is technically a fan brush. I just don't like putting a fan brush next to my eyeball. And that is off. That's it for the palette. And then I'm going to take the LA Girl Fine Line pen, eyeliner pen, which is this tiny little thing. And I'm just going to draw my wings. I'm going to put on my wing eyeliner first, which I do draw my wing first. And then I just do little tiny connections, which some people do this the opposite way. I do it this way. Because I wear glasses, I don't really worry about how straight the line is, because there is distortion in my glasses. But if you have hooded lids, you have to make sure that your eyeliner is pointed up straight. I always have problems with my left eye just because it's a little bit more flinchy than my right one, just because I can't fully close it. Because I need that to see. And yes, I do use a magnified mirror just because I can't really see. For the bottom lash line, I'm going to be using the Annabelle the Edge eyeliner in black. I think it's extreme black. Nope, it's carbon black, which looks like this. I like it for the lash line. Yep. And should never do my left eye first. And I'm just putting that on the lower line. Which I did do all that. I'm not going to run any shadow underneath my eyelid, underneath my eyes, because unfortunately I have really, I have natural creases there. So I would not recommend it. If you don't have any creases there and you're very, very lucky to not have those, go for it. Or if you just feel adventurous. For mascara, I'm using the Physicians Formula Killer Curve, which is in the Essential Mini Kit. Like all the little ones are today. I should, well, you think you should have done setting spray first. Huh. Oops. We'll do setting spray at the end. I'm trying not to sneeze or blink too much. Just this does have the same size wand as the original one. It just has a really short like handle. So it's a little bit awkward when you aren't wearing glasses. For highlighter, I'm going to be using the Physicians Formula Mineral Pearls in Champagne. This is the mini size, which it's so tiny. I don't have a normal one to compare. But I'm going to be using, can I find it? Let's use this one, which is the number 3 brush from the BH Studio Pro set, which is a little bit bigger than I normally would go. This does actually come with a mini size brush. I will show you in a second. Which I will show you. Which is, it comes with a little baby brush if you really want to test your skills at putting on blush. With a little tiny one, I'm going to actually grab some blush. It's running away. I have a blush running away. Because I forgot to grab a blush. Because I don't usually wear blush. But draping is back in style, which if you don't know what draping is actually kind of, it's both contouring and blushing with the same color. Which we're going to use the number 2 brush from the Studio Pro line and Joe Fresh's Rose. Which I'm going to dab that in a few times just because this blush brush is a little bit lower. I am going to take this like a little bit lower than I naturally would, so I'm going basically from the cheek back. Just because draping is both your blush and your contour. It doesn't really slim the face, it's more of a rosy glow. With winter coming, that's probably, it's a very interesting idea. And for setting spray, I'm going to be using the NYX Dewy Finish just because the matte finish is a little too drying for my dry skin. Because I am old. I'm in my 25s, and unfortunately I take my 20s, well I am 25, unfortunately I take a medication that dries out my skin, so I'm just going to fan that down a little bit. And for lip color, I'm going to be using the Physicians Formula Healthy Lip in Fight Free Radicals. Just a which is a super bright red. And which, if you also happen to know, there is another gift set from Physicians Formula, which actually comes with a whole button, which comes with the whole line in minis, and their Physicians Formula Healthy Lip Transformer, which is the limited addition to that kit, which is called Opalescent, which I'm just going to take a tiny bit. On just the center of my lip. And if you want to know the size difference between the mini and the full size, that's the difference. These on the full sizes are 6.9 and the minis are 2.3, so it's a fairly good difference. I'm just going to, that's it. And that's completed look, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.